How's the bacon, did you say?
Batistuta! Oh, what a fantastic hit!
Roy Keane on Haaland.
Here's Sancho.
Aguero! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again.
Tu pensa as coisinhas bonitas de mim, menina, menina. Tu pensa as coisinhas bonitas de mim, menina, menina. Lindos olhos você tem, cabelos longos também. Não te troco por ninguém. Menina, te quero bem. Swinga, some baby, swinga. Swinga, menina, menina. Swinga, some baby, swinga. Swinga, menina, menina. Sinto muito, pode crer. Agora me amarro em você. Sou homem de prazer. Tu és o meu bem-querer. Swinga, boneca, swinga. Swinga pra menina dançar, swinga.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Prawn Sandwich podcast, season 3. We're in now. Hello to Dylan McKenzie and Nathan Cupid.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
I'm hosting today. Of course, you'll recognise my voice if you listen to us regularly. It's Jay. Won't go straight into what we're doing right away. Just want to say thanks to all the recent guests that came on because we've had a good run of yous. Matt, the Derby fan, Hugh, the Birmingham fan, Liam, Carlisle United fan, Scott, Celtic supporter. So I don't think I've missed anybody there, have I?
Not that I'm aware of, mate.
That's a teaser. We haven't even had Scott's episode out yet.
Well, it will have been out by the time this is on.
Oh yeah, true. My bad. Oh, is that out next week? Is it?
It'll have been out.
Time of
yes.
recording, it should be out in
April.
next week. Yeah.
All right, sound.
So of course as well, give a shout out to our sponsors, Apple Tree Pub in Carlisle. What's the date you're opening again, Dale?
Monday, May the 17th.
Monday, May 17th. And
Yes.
shout out to T7 Clothing as well. I've noticed they've put a couple of little teaser posts on their Instagram page, so there's maybe stuff coming shortly.
Summer range.
Yeah.
Connor Massey, Newcastle. That's the one fan you missed.
Sorry, Connor. I missed
Oh
it.
yeah, Connor. Oh, I see, because it's black and white, so you just tend to drain it out.
After hammering home that we're not biased at all, I've just totally forgot about a Newcastle fan coming on this show. Sorry, mate. But yeah, so this week we're going to do another tournament review. If you've listened to us in the past, we've done reviews of the 1998 World Cup, 2002 World Cup, and the 2008 Euros. I've not missed any tournaments we've done, have I?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
But a little bit of a change today. Normally we've done international tournaments, as I've said, but today we're looking back at the Club World Cup from January 2000. Personally, I remember watching some of the games at the time, but obviously you lads are a little bit younger than me, so might not have been on your telly screens when you were.
I remember watching the Man United games.
No, I fucking do. I am going to boot in though, since we're doing a classic episode. We love our football shirts. Thought I'll treat you to these boys. They just arrived today. Sat down in the pub waiting for them. The new black and gold Puma Kings.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
See them.
Real.
So I think personally, Puma Kings are a pure underrated classic boot.
Yeah,
So
I'll give you that.
I went for the new ones.
Oh, quality, nice. So the 2000 Club World Cup tournament. Before we get fired right into actually talking about the tournament itself, we've got to mention all the controversy in England at the time surrounding Man United's withdrawal from the FA Cup in order to take part in it. I remember at the time, I was 10, and it being massive news, and everybody blamed Man United for it and that. But in researching this, they didn't want to drop out here.
Yeah.
It was they were under pressure from the FA and the government to go for the 2006 World Cup bid that was obviously doomed anyway. But they thought it'd be good PR for England if they went over and built relations. So the FA, because this was the first time in FA Cup history, the third round was in December.
Yeah.
So the fourth and fifth rounds were both in January, so they would have missed. It was just like, it was as if it was set up for them. Like, no, you have to go and do this tournament because there's no other way you can do it.
Because I watched the video that you sent us, because I didn't remember any of it. So what did they win in Japan then? Because Phil Neville says a bit where we won in Japan.
That's an intercontinental trophy.
That was the Intercontinental Cup. So that's the winner of the Copa Libertadores and the winner of the Champions League, which like they still do now. But this tournament was like Blatter's like brainchild.
Yeah.
Like this is what he wanted to put together. Like that video that we watched, like when it's interviewing him at the start, you know how he like just likes to get involved with everything.
Yeah.
Especially around that time. And he said, like teams in other continents like Africa and Oceania are getting as good as teams in Europe and stuff now. So this is going to determine the best team in the world. And so yeah, that was why Real Madrid were taking part in it, they won in the Continental Cup.
I always remember Jay was 10, so 2000 I was 8, and being a Man United fan at the time, I can always remember like it being a bit of a kick-off and all that. And I can remember saying to my granddad in his house once, like, why don't they just play like a reserve team for the FA Cup games and let the first team go over? Yeah. My granddad was like, oh yeah, I never thought of that. And then like 3 days later at football training, my granddad was talking to my football coach and like, why don't they just send a reserve team up for the FA Cup games? I always remember being like, I told you that, granddad.
But so basically, obviously, it was a big controversy that Man United weren't going to be in it. I thought this is funny, and I've heard it on other podcasts as well. But the Daily Mirror on the 14th of July, 1999, ran a front page of, is there anyone left in Britain who does not think Man United should be in the Cup? And some of the people have had like the opinions of. So basically the front page, that's written in the middle. And then around the border of that, it's got pictures of like celebrities and like people in sports. So if you want, do you want a supermodel Caprice's hot take on Man United not being in the FA Cup? They should think about
going out with Tony Adams at that time.
Oh, maybe. They should think about the fans. It's outrageous. But some of them are like pure, Falklands hero. Have they forgotten football is a game for the people?
Oh, good God!
This is a pure clutch. Singing star Darren Day. My mates are all United fans and they are gutted. And I think my favourite one though is Hero's Widow. Like no name, just like Hero's Widow. I was shocked when I heard. It's so sad. Like, is she talking about her husband dying, or is she talking about Man U? Oh, it's funny. Like, I'll put it on the Twitter after the episode, so you can have a look because it is funny. I've got it saved on my thing.
I don't think it really hit home until Bobby Charlton actually came out and was like, "This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like, we might never win the Champions League again, so we might not ever get to play in trophies like this again." And then kind of like fans were kind of like, "Oh yeah, you know what? He's maybe right." Like,
it was a bit of a joke, like the tournament itself.
Yeah.
But like Dill touched on there that we've all watched this video with highlights, and like it's quite hard getting footage of all the games. That was just basically taken from a VHS and converted to like a video file and put on YouTube, so it was proper sketchy. The Man United games you can get access to in the final, but it was quite hard. But run through the 8 teams that took part in it. It was Corinthians. They basically won like the Brazilian Super Cup. And they were hosting. They played 85 matches the previous calendar year.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, because their seasons run from January to December, and they play a regional division, and then they play the Serie A, the Brazilian Serie A.
Yeah.
And then there's playoffs at the end of that as well. So 85 games. Al Nassr, who won the Asian Super Cup. Man United, obviously, that won the 98-99 Champions League. Necaxa of Mexico, they won the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Raja Casablanca, who won the African Champions League. Real Madrid, because they won the 1998 Intercontinental Cup, which is what Man United had won the month before, Dill, like you mentioned. Vasco da Gama won the Copa Libertadores. And South Melbourne, a semi-professional team that won the Oceania Club Championship, a tournament that was only made to determine an Oceania qualifier for this tournament. Mother.
Seb Blatter and his money, man.
Oh, I know. And, it was held in Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, the Morumbi Stadium, Sao Paulo, and obviously Maracanã of Rio. And so 2 groups. The format basically was the winner of each group played each other in the final, and the runners-up played each other in a third place playoff. Should we just fire into Group A first?
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
Yeah, if you want to go on.
So Group A consisted of Corinthians, Real Madrid, Al Nassr, and Raja Casablanca. And the first game was between Real Madrid and Al Nassr, and I don't need to break it down. It was a 3-1 win for Real Madrid. Nicolas Anelka, Raul, and Brazilian Savio with the goals for Madrid, and the goal for Al Husseini for Al Nassr. That was Anelka's first competitive goal for Madrid.
I thought that when I seen it, because I watched the Anelka film the other day and all.
Yeah, he'd been really struggling at Madrid after his move from Arsenal, and went there and finally got off the mark. He was maybe not having the pressure of the Bernabeu around him or something, but in the other opening game in that, Corinthians beat Raja Casablanca 2-0 with goals from Luis Zhao and Fabio Luciano. I had a look in the squads, and I just thought there'd maybe be some interesting names pop up in especially the Brazilian teams.
Yeah.
And Corinthians, did you notice a young Edu?
Yes.
Arsenal midfielder Edu.
I looked at the squads, I must have missed him.
Yeah. Edu was in the side. Luis Zhao, he had a stint at Hertha Berlin. That was a bit failed. Dida, of course, in goal.
Oh, hi, Edu. How I missed that.
Yeah.
Van Petter as well.
Van Petter, great shot. Yeah, Van Petter, who had played for PSV at that point, and then had a bit of a torrid stint at Inter where he didn't really play.
World Cup winner 2 years later, wasn't
I
he?
think I seen Marcos Senna, and just got overly chuffed.
Yeah, Marcos Senna.
Didn't
future
look into any other account of anyone in that else in that squad.
Future Spain international. That blew my mind as well. We spied him in there. The second, I think the next 2 games were probably my favourite 2 games of the tournament when you watch them back. Just on those little highlight reels. Real Madrid played Corinthians in a 2-2 draw.
That was good. One of Eddie Ilson's goals, and that was absolutely class.
The one where who does he megs? Doesn't he meg someone on the edge of the box?
Oh man, the guy with the.
Was it Karambou? It was Karambou.
It's Christian Karambou.
He megs Karambou and then blasted in.
Proper megs him and all.
And then Karambou, I tell you, did you notice some of Karambou's through balls?
Karambou had an unbelievable tournament.
And Jeremy at right back.
Jeremy as well.
That made me laugh.
Yeah. Jeremy marauded right back. He got about 3 assists.
Steve McManaman played in that tournament as well. Let's just get that in
there. But another couple of goals for Anelka as well.
Yeah.
And this was the one where he got sent through on goal, and he done his little shimmy with his legs around the keeper, didn't he?
Yeah.
And put it in, and then missed the penalty.
Class.
He missed a penalty.
That goal where he just feints, his leg looks like it's made of rubber.
It's absolutely mint.
Lovely.
But top scorer in the tournament, well, joint.
Yeah. You know something? Out of footballers I've watched live at games, Nicolas Anelka is probably given up there as one of the best individual performances I've ever seen.
For Chelsea, he tore us apart, didn't he?
He was phenomenal. He was dropping deep and playing as a midfielder most of the game. He was absolutely class.
I think he gets a bit of a bad press every now and again because he's a bit of a
Oh, he's a loose
Pers-
cannon.
yeah, his personality gets the better of him sometimes, but like
When you
quality.
look at the when he had that spell kind of post Madrid, like he went back to PSG,
Yeah.
and loaned him to Liverpool, and then he'd done the rounds at like Man City, Fenerbahce, Bolton. Like I think because he had that little spell in the middle of his career, that he doesn't get regarded as like as good as he was, because he was phenomenal. Like
he was
and
class.
He was only like 19 now at this point.
Tell you what, we'll leave it because that actually might be like a good profile to do, to be honest.
Anelka.
It would be.
It would be,
especially because he's got his film out on Netflix, which is pure good.
That is a really good watch. If you've not saw that, then
absolutely.
Then give that a watch. The Anelka documentary. It was really good, real eye opener. The other fixture in the second round of games in that group was Raja Casablanca and Al Nassr, and oh my god, some of the defending in this game is absolutely horrific, isn't it?
It's the keeping, The keeping and all is just hilarious.
Do you know what's mad with like these like random obscure clubs? Some of them have really good attacking players.
Yeah.
Well, he went El Kakuri was dossing for.
I know. When
exactly.
That rocket flew in between the keeper's hands, I couldn't believe El Kakuri was playing.
Like on loan at Sunderland.
Yeah. Well, there was Saib who scores the winner in the fourth goal for Al Nassr. He played for Spurs as well.
Yeah.
So there was a couple of Premier League players.
I remember last I was researching it though, that in this 60,000 seater stadium, there was 3,000 people watching it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, they wanted it in Brazil. They gave it to Brazilian clubs, like Vasco da Gama of Rio and Corinthians of Sao Paulo, and they thought all the stadiums would be total sellouts, like for the entire thing. But obviously, they weren't going to be. It was the height of Brazilian summer as well. It's like January's Baltic here. It's over there. It would be like 30 degrees on a morning. Like for any listeners that are in America or anyone that does Fahrenheit, that's 30 degrees Celsius.
I like it.
So, but by the time they're playing, even if they're playing on a night, the humidity would be horrific.
Exactly. And you've got a little ginger lad from Liverpool in midfield for Real Madrid dossing about in that heat, man.
But yeah, Al Nassr beat Casablanca 4-3, and if you do fancy going and having a look at the highlights of this tournament, it is a funny watching the defending from this game. I'm not going through all the goal scorers for that, by the way.
Oh no.
And then in the last round of games, Real Madrid needed a favour from Al Nassr to try and get something from Corinthians, as they were going to be matched on goal difference, weren't they?
Yeah.
Real Madrid played Casablanca, and what you thought would have probably been a hammering was quite a close 3-2 win. They took an 88th minute winner from Jeremy. Future Bolton defender Hierro scoring for Madrid, but they actually went a goal down, didn't they?
They did.
There was two headers.
Akimi or whatever.
Yeah, a very young Iker Casillas could probably have done better with the second one.
Yes.
His hands. But yeah, Fernando Hierro, Fernando Morientes, and Jeremy with the goals for Madrid there.
It's Jeremy's goal that like cross for Raul, but the keeper palms it straight in. Yeah, is that the first game? I always get them mixed up.
A creative force down the right side in the first game, set up 2 goals from his marauding right back role.
He was mint like.
Apio loved him, mate. Like he was wasted when he went to Chelsea and then the Megs. Corinthians, though, they sealed the group with a 2-0 win against Al Nassr. Ricardinho, who looked a real player in this tournament, opened the scoring. He signed for Middlesbrough.
Didn't play a game.
Didn't play a game, no.
Ricardinho.
Yeah, and Rincon, who was Colombia captain at the time.
Freddie Rincon.
Yeah.
Unreal player.
So the group finished with Corinthians and Madrid tied on 7 points, but Corinthians had a better goal difference of +4 to Real Madrid's +3. So it was Corinthians into the final. and Real Madrid into the third place playoff. So apparently in that tournament, like you see, I said before that the FA and government wanted Man United to go over to like build relations, so to speak. That when Man United were there, when Man United were there, they didn't have any open training sessions around like that. They didn't mingle with like locals and stuff. Real Madrid, on the other hand, like every single one of their training sessions was like an open training session, and they were just hanging around their hotel and like speaking to fans and stuff like that, and made an absolute massive impression on like English fans as well. But Man United didn't do anything like that. The only PR they actually done in the end was a thing arranged by UNICEF at the end of the tournament. Yeah, where they kicked the ball around with some kids from Fafellas. But that was arranged by UNICEF. It wasn't off their own back.
Yeah.
So we'll go on to Man United's group then. As we said, Group B, Vasco da Gama, Man United, Necaxa, and South Melbourne. So Man United opened this group against Necaxa of Mexico. And you know what blew my mind with this? You see how we've just mentioned the Heat before? Man United players were still wearing long sleeve tops.
Yeah. Dwight York played the full tournament in a long sleeved top. I think Beckham played in one as well, didn't he? Beckham played with a long sleeve shirt on as well.
Dwight York is from Trinidad, he'll be used to it.
Yeah, he'll be all right, but like Nicky Butt in a long sleeve top.
So he doesn't get sunburn on his arms, man.
But they've just come from a UK winter.
I know, man.
UK winter straight to like that heat and humidity in the Dawson and
To be fair, though, if you're getting told, like, I'm not being funny, but like someone like Nicky Butt or like them English lads in that squad, like, right, what would you rather have? A freezing cold weekend in Tranmere in the FA Cup, or do you want to go and play Vasco da Gama in Brazil? Sign me right up.
Because obviously Man United's group was based in Rio. The Flamengo fans, Flamengo's another club based in Rio, and Flamengo was the only club previous from Rio that had won the Club World Cup kind of thing, like the Continental Cup and that. So they really wanted Man United to do over Vasco da Gama, just so another club from Rio, their biggest rivals, like didn't have that accolade on them. So they were fuming with Man United's failings. But in that first game, Necaxa won, Man United won. A David Beckham red card for a horrific challenge.
I know.
Oh God! So Necaxa went 1-0 up. I think it was after they went 1-0 up as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, they went 1-0 up off the free kick. Jaap Stam gave away a soft free kick.
And then they missed a pen.
Dwight York missed a pen.
Dwight York missed a pen.
No, Necaxa missed a pen. Both missed a pen in the same game, didn't they?
Bosnich saved a pen, didn't he?
Bosnich saved a pen, and then Dwight York missed a pen.
Bosnich had an awful tournament, by the way.
That tournament was like the end for him.
Yeah.
He didn't really play much after that. Van der Hau was like number one after that.
There isn't many Man United players that come away from this tournament saying that they had a good tournament, really.
Apart from Quentin Fortune.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get onto it.
Like, I don't blame them at all. Like, if you told me, like, I know they're professionals, but you've just won like the treble, right? You don't have to play you don't have to go to Ipswich away in the FA Cup in fucking December, freezing your tits off. You'd be on a beach in Brazil playing Necaxa for 16 days. I need dramas.
Yeah, exactly. I think Jonathan Green said, like, I'm not going to play much, but it's a holiday in Brazil, so why not?
Like, I'll be on the beach when we're not training. Or
I read an interview with Mikhail Silvestre about this tournament, and he said they had no knowledge of any of the clubs that were playing apart from Real Madrid.
Silvestri is the God likes to call him.
But yeah, so there was no like watching videos of the teams or anything. They just basically weren't prepared for the heat at all. Like,
just lost.
I think it speaks volumes that this was the first one and there wasn't anything similar for another 4 years after. And so anyway, so Man United 1-0 down, Dwight York equalised 81st minute. In the other game, Vasco da Gama versus South Melbourne. 2-0 Vasco da Gama. Felipe, 53rd minute goal, and Edmundo in the 86th minute. This was the third of his 5 spells at Vasco da Gama, Edmundo. 5 spells.
Good play, though.
This was just on the back of him leaving Fiorentina the year before.
Yeah.
The year before, that was when Fiorentina finished second the season before.
Yeah.
And Edmundo went AWOL for the Rio Carnival because he had a clause in his contract. That he was allowed to bugger off and go to the Rio Carnival when it was on. And it ended up, that basically cost them the league.
They won the league.
Their form went awful when that, but he was more bothered about going to Rio and partying.
But he still got injured, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he still got injured.
And so they had no striker. Mental.
Love it. I absolutely love that. That's good.
We'll move on to the next game, which was Man United versus Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama won 3-1. Romario scored 2 goals, both in the 24th and 26th minute, and Gary Neville with 2 humping mistakes that led to them. Like the Romario at this point is like 32.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's still obviously in really good nick. It left, I think, when he left Barcelona in 96. I think it was 95 or 96. He went back to Brazil, and like basically that's where he spent the rest of his career. But he looked lethal inside the box, didn't he? Even still at that age, like pounced on those Gary Neville mistakes straight away, and there was like only one outcome.
Absolutely.
73,000 at that game.
Yeah, that's in contrast to like, I mean, well, the attendance, which was just later on that night in the same stadium, was registered at only 5,000.
Yeah.
Everyone had seen what they wanted to do and then buggered off. Edmundo made it 3 on the 43rd minute with a delightful turn over Mikhail Silvestre.
Yeah, good
Balls
goal.
played into him, and he just like dinks it over around his shoulder, around the back of the defender, spins Silvestre and like buries it bottom corner.
Finish. It's a great goal. Great goal.
Yeah, they didn't even really get on Romario and Edmundo, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, I know they celebrated the goals together, but apparently now that they didn't really get on. Like, that's 2 very, very big egos in that side.
It's all for football at the end of the day. That's one thing that annoys me about football. Like the whole Sheringham and Cole thing, where it's like, oh, but one of them's got to go. Well, no, like at the end of the day, they're doing a job. You don't have you don't get on with people at work, but you still get on with it. You know what I mean?
But
fair dues are 2 talents there, like.
No, 100%. What was it? Edmundo was meant to be who started the '98 final, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The World Cup instead of Ronaldo over the whole Caesar gate. Nicky Butt pulled one back for Man United on the 81st minute, but that result.
Pele's player of the tournament.
Probably, mate.
Oh, for the 2002 World Cup, wasn't he? Like Nicky, it was Pele's.
No, this.
Was it this? Is that what Pele said? Behave.
It's where Pele first seen him, mate.
I'm running on 3 hours kip. I'm very gullible, so you could tell us anything.
Teddy Sheringham's dink in that game is ridiculous. The one in the second half.
It's not.
Oh, mate, it's so close. Super Ted, edge of the box, and he sees him, dink.
Oh,
it just oozes Teddy Sheringham.
I tell you, it's hot when Teddy Sheringham's wearing a short sleeve top.
With you see the little chain that pops out of his shirt as well. Like,
I love
Teddy,
that.
What a dish!
I think it just oozes like old school football scene of a chain or something like hanging out a shirt and that. No health and safety regs.
Nah,
just us. York used to wear about 3.
York's a player though, isn't he?
Teddy's not.
Teddy's mint like
Teddy was a fiend.
Teddy's class. Teddy's class.
In the other fixture, which basically confirmed Man United's exit already, Necaxa beat South Melbourne 3-1.
Yeah.
Montesinos penalty. Augustin Delgado, who went on to have a failed spell at Southampton a few years later, but was class for Necaxa in this tournament. And another penalty, Cabrera And they also missed a penalty in this game. Well, the South Melbourne lads.
Watching, there's more pens in this tournament than I get in a season on.
There is loads of pens.
Absolutely jugs.
There's a
And
few
there's-
like.
And the soft. There's a lot of soft pens.
Oh yeah.
I
Very soft.
I bet the referees were under instructions like, we need to make this tournament look as entertaining as possible. So just award penalties so it looks like the games have been high scoring.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise us, like.
Well, Seb Blatter's involved, man. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, as we say, that result confirmed Man United's exit from the tournament. So, in a dead rubber on what would have been my 11th birthday, Man United played South Melbourne. This was the first game where they actually fielded.
Did they not still have a chance?
No,
That was it done.
That was it out after 2 games. All that fuss and out after 2 games.
That doesn't make sense then.
How?
Because they only went out in goal difference. They had 4 points each, and Necaxa had a +1 goal difference to Man United's none. So surely if they won like 4-0 and Vasco beat Necaxa, which they did.
It was to be fair, it was maybe results.
Yeah.
It was maybe head-to-heads before goal difference, actually.
I was thinking that the drew 1-1. The drew 1-1 in the head-to-head.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Unless they just got it wrong in the video or something. And
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But this was the first game where they actually field like a weaker side, so to speak, and some of the more reserve players got to run out, including one Quinton Fortune, who had been in and around the side since his arrival from Atletico Madrid in the summer, and scored both goals in a 2-0 victory on the 8th and 20th minute. And in the other fixture, Vasco da Gama sealed a perfect record in the group with a 2-1 win against Necaxa. Anguinga put Necaxa 1-0 up after 5 minutes, and then Odvan, which he was a Champman legend for me on my Atletico Mineiro save. I loved seeing him pop up with a goal.
did you click on him?
Odvan?
Yeah.
No, I
Like
didn't look at
Wikipedia, right? It's got him down as like 25 teams played for, but like half them don't have like any caps or anything. Like they don't know how many games he played. He's like a pure unknown maverick.
Oh, what an enigma, Odvan. It was a
Only
rock at the back for my Mineiro
Only
side.
7 teams to know who he played for, and 2 of them are Vasco da Gama stints.
Nice.
Yeah.
He haven't got a clue. He signed for DC United apparently, but didn't play a game.
There's loads of Brazilians who go and play in Japan, which I noticed when clicking through some of these players, like Adilson for Corinthians had a few spells in Japan.
Yeah.
Edmundo at one point was in Japan. Ricardinho went to Japan. But the other goal in this game was Romario, which was his 3rd goal of the tournament, which matched Anelka's to tie for top goal scorer. I know we touched on before Corinthians squad and the talent running through it, but Vasco da Gama's
Yeah, absolutely.
Class.
bloody obviously Romario and Edmundo that we've mentioned.
Juninho.
Say that again, sorry.
Juninho.
Juninho in midfield. I didn't realise that. That was a nice surprise seeing that pop up.
Yeah.
Some really good players kicking about. There was a few that ended up at Lyon.
Yeah.
He wasn't the only one. I can't remember the exact name of the other lad that I noticed, but so entertaining groups. 3rd place playoff will be between Real Madrid and Necaxa, and the final between Corinthians and Vasco da Gama. So 3rd place playoff on the 14th of January. Stiff back. Real put Madrid up to 15 minutes, and Delgado with the equaliser on 58 minutes. After extra time, just went to penalties.
You missed a pen there.
No comment.
So
Steve was not lethal from 12 yards out. He only scores bicycle kicks.
Necaxa won on pens. 2 players that missed pens for Real Madrid both played for Man City. at one point.
Yep.
Steve McManaman missed one, and Javier Dorado missed another. He must have been a young lad then.
Well,
Sammy Eto'o bagging.
Yeah, a young Samuel Eto'o
yeah.
scoring as well. Ivan Helguera and Morientes put theirs away. Vazquez, Perez, Anguinaga, and Delgado. Delgado got the winning pen, and must have thought, God, I love the Del. I can't wait to go and play.
There must be two Dorados if you because I didn't know him.
Delgado.
Dorado.
Dorado.
Yeah, Javier Dorado.
If you click on him on here, he didn't play for City.
Did he not?
No.
Oh, must
You
be
sure?
correct.
No. Real Madrid, Salamanca, Sporting Gijon, Rayo,
Ooh.
Sporting Gijon again, Mallorca.
Oh, Javier Garrido, not Garrido.
I was gonna say I didn't know him, but no.
Oh, that's a shame. I thought I'd unleash some
I
unreal
know.
trivia.
I can't believe we did the same thing there.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Disappointed in
gutting.
myself
Yeah.
there.
Garrido didn't even play for Real Madrid. He played for Real Sociedad. Oh well,
Right, boys.
never mind.
No,
never mind.
it's good. It's why you're here, Dale.
Good. You don't want that, you don't want the facts to be wrong, Dale. That's why we
Aye.
like you there. Like sat at the ready to shoot us down.
Exactly. If it was just me and Jay, we'd just have any crack going on,
I
man.
know.
The winning
No
penalty-
fact checking or nothing.
The winning penalty was scored by Agustin Delgado, who did have a stint in England, played for Southampton between 2001 and
Yeah.
2004, but only played 11 games in 3 years.
It was a bit of a flop.
Shite, eh?
It was class in this tournament.
Yeah.
The final, which was it was played on the same day. We were in a rush to get this through. Between Corinthians and Vasco da Gama, which would be, to be fair, that's probably what they wanted because that's the only way they were getting the stadium like totally full.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
73,000 in the Maracanã. And quite nice when you see stuff like this happen. Obviously, it was 0-0 and it was decided on pens. But the Sao Paulo team beating the Rio team in Rio in the final.
Yes.
Love out like that.
There's some scenes. Scenes.
So
Edu scored. He's pen.
yeah, young Edu, Luis Zhao, Fernando Baiano, Rincon
Freddie
scored the
Rincon.
pens for Corinthians. Romario, Alex Oliveira, and Viola scored the pens for Vasco da Gama. Gilberto, the left back, missed. He played for Spurs at one point.
Yeah.
Did he? Yeah, he did.
Arsehole.
I was certain with that one.
Yeah.
Played for Inter and all, apparently.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, 2 games.
He was really highly thought of as a left back around that time.
Yeah.
Really highly thought of. But obviously in the national side at the time, he had Roberto Carlos and Silvinho.
Yeah.
So it was a hard team to get into when you play in that position.
Oh, aye.
Dida saved from Gilberto, but Edmundo's pen was very wide. But yeah, so Corinthians won the first ever FIFA Club World Cup Championship.
Nice.
Format was then scrapped and then reconfigured to become another version of the tournament in 2004, which is what they still do now.
What is now in with 4 teams?
Yeah, 4 teams, and well, they don't even have an Oceania
Nah.
So what is
tournament
it?
like that anymore.
Asian Champions League.
Copa Libertadores.
Copa Libertadores. The other one.
A CONCACAF have like they have like their version of a Champions League as well, don't they?
The African one.
Yeah.
So, but they have preliminary rounds. Remember?
Yeah.
So if you like the Champions Leagues, Copa Libertadores, they get automatically through. But the other ones will play earlier games to determine whether they'll face them.
Australia don't even bloody compete in Oceania anymore, do they? They're part of the Asia, like on the international scene.
Yeah, on the
anyways, they compete in
international scene,
Asia
yeah.
now, don't they?
So on this, the last one, it was like so Champions League, then South America, North America, and the Asia one. So like Bayern won it.
Yeah.
Second were Tigres from Mexico. Al Ali third, and Palmeiras fourth.
Yeah. It's just like we said like earlier, like Man United went there with like no knowledge of the other teams, and so like just trying to put a spanner in the works there. Does that mean Sir Alex and the treble winning team aren't as good as what they think?
You're very shocked now if the European team don't win it.
Yeah.
Like if the Champions League winners don't win it, you're very
I think it's either a Champions League team or like a Brazilian side. You know what I mean? I think the Brazilian sides have the capability of knocking anybody about. You know what I mean?
Man United ended up treating that as like a mid-season break, and before they went away, it was a really close title race between them, Arsenal, and Leeds. Sunderland went far off as well. It was their last game before they went away. It was a 2-2 draw at the Stadium of Light.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we could have went top over Christmas. I think we lost to West Ham.
You'd have to watch that game on Sky. It's on YouTube.
It is. That's some of the Man United games.
Northern Star by Mel C's on the build-up.
For the sake of it, the last team not to win it from Europe was 2012.
Chelsea lost to someone.
Chelsea lost to Corinthians in the final.
Ooh.
But as we were saying there, Man United treating it as a mid-season break. It was close before they went away. They ended up winning the league by a record points for the time.
They kicked on, didn't they?
Yeah, they absolutely smashed the league after that. They're 18 points clear. They got knocked out in the Champions League in the wasn't the quarters, or was it the first round of 16? It was against Real Madrid anyway.
Yeah, they got knocked out in the quarterfinals of Real Madrid.
Yeah, because Madrid.
Raul was mint that night, and Redondo.
It was quarters. It was in my quiz, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. They went on to Real Madrid, obviously, of course, went on to win the Champions League that season. Did they win the league that year? Don't think they did. That wasn't was that Depot's?
I'm sure that's Depot's winning season. I'm sure it is.
99-2000, is it?
I'm not entirely sure. We're supposed to be a football podcast, but we'll get there.
I know.
I'm sure it was Deportivo, man. We'll let Dylan sort that out.
Just keep talking while Dill Googles.
I've got myself on a track now. I'm just going back. It just seems a little bit poor. So like Chelsea were the last one, but then before that, it's again all the Champions League winners.
Yeah.
Apart from 2006, Internacional from Brazil won it, beat Barca in the final.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
But it's a bit like, if you win the Champions League, you should really win it, shouldn't you?
You pretty much won it, aye.
Yeah, try to see what one. Another 1-0 in the final to Internacional.
Yeah.
But nah.
It is. I dare say, probably like the standard of football is more competitive in Europe than where it is everywhere else. But
it's
anyway.
where the money's here.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, that's why like the best players come to you. Obviously, the leagues have the more illustrious reputations, but like the Brazilian league's nothing to be scoffed at.
Yeah.
I mean, these players get produced from somewhere, and not all of them can come to Europe.
Yeah.
Well, when it was re-established in 2005, Liverpool lost in the final.
Get in.
To Sao Paulo.
Get in.
Enjoyed that one, didn't you?
A little bit like
in the final to lose these finals.
But anyway, lads, after watching the highlights, was there any particular things that you enjoyed?
Old kits. The Adilson goal. The Anelka goal with the dangly leg.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I pure like the old kits.
Yeah.
More quality, especially the Brazilian ones, and the crowd in the final was class.
It was. They'll hate each other. Them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like Rio and Sao Paulo will have a massive just hatred on each other.
Old style footy and all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just
we see all
old patched up footy, not this high technology crap you've got now.
The pitches were so dry and slow. Like that's another thing. Obviously European football to an extent is like all about like fast pace and moving the ball quick. So it just suited Brazilian clubs down to the ground.
Yeah.
Obviously it's in Brazil, and it's 100 degrees.
It was just the Man United games for me because it was a bit of a nostalgia trip, especially that Vasco da Gama shirt.
Yeah.
Like, what a shirt!
I remember watching the Vasco da Gama game. I remember watching that at home. I love a shirt with a sash, and that Vasco da Gama black with a white sash and a red.
The red crest just fits perfect.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Oh.
I really enjoyed just like seeing players that later become household names playing in this tournament as like youngsters for the Brazilian side.
I'll save that for my 11.
Yeah, that's same. And also, I love Jeremy's like marauding down the right hand side as a right
completely
agree. Balls in, and a delightful Christian Karambou through ball that set up an Elka for a goal. But I really enjoyed reading up, and like I read a couple of articles, as I say, and watching those highlights. I wasn't going to put myself through watching the Man United boys in Brazil video, just watching them.
Yeah, I couldn't be asked.
Football
as much as I wanted to watch Teddy Sheringham shirtless.
Speaking of shirtless, that documentary we watched, within like the first 20 seconds, when it's like Brazil and it's like beaches, Christ the Redeemer, lass in a bikini, and she stayed on the screen for ages. For God's sake, eh? And then later on the final, can you remember when it was the day of the final? It was the same day. It was like Miss Brazil or something like that, and it showed footage of that on the footy documentary we watched.
Until I'm the only single one, because I was not asked at all.
Dill's 11's just full of names of models that were in that competition.
Sao Paulo left back. Miss Rio centre half.
Why not, man?
Quality. Right, I've put a little quiz together.
Yeah, I know.
So should we fire into that?
Come on.
It's a bit of a twist because it's not actually based on the Club World Cup itself, but it's based on the FA Cup that Man United sacked off.
Oh, nice!
So the quiz is on the 99-2000 FA Cup.
Right. Well, I'm just okay.
So, are you pen and paper ready? You ready?
Yes.
Right. So, first question. Who were the lucky losers that got up to re-enter the FA Cup in the third round, replacing Man United, despite being knocked out in the second?
I'm pretty sure this came up. What?
So, for anyone listening that doesn't know the crack, because Man United withdrew, there was going to be a vacant place in the FA Cup third round. So rather than give someone a bye to the fourth, they allowed one of the losers of the second round to enter by a luck of the draw. And which team? I want to know.
I
don't even know why this one's stuck in my head, but for some reason this one's stuck in my head. It's probably wrong.
Oh no, it won't be them because they'll have been a Prem team, so they won't have played in the second round. I'll go with them.
Question 2.
Yeah.
In the third round, there was a controversial game in which a player was sent off, and before he left the pitch, was subbed off. So he'd been red carded, but his team had subbed him. So this club basically played without they played with 11 men rather than 10. Which club was it?
God, this is like scraping like distant memories. Like
I was 6, mate.
I'll give you a little clue for this. It was against Sunderland.
Oh. Right, I'm gonna. Oh.
Is it? Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with it. Bollocks to it. Bollocks to it. I'm sticking with them.
Right.
This will be a stab in the dark. This one. if you didn't know the answer to that one. I didn't really think this through when I wrote the quiz out. But what round did said club get to? They made it through the third round. They were 1-0 up against us at the time. But
I do not think it's them.
round did they make it to?
99, 2000.
Yeah.
I don't know, won it. All right,
Move on.
Yeah, aye.
My shoulder's killing us.
In the first round, non-league side Ilkeston Town beat which team?
In the first round?
Yeah. Move on.
Yep.
Next one. Hereford Town, who were non-league at the time, took Leicester City to extra time after a replay. Leicester won, but who scored the winning goal?
Leicester won.
Yeah, Leicester won the game, but who scored the winner for them? I think Leicester 2000 era. Next question. Question 6. Who refereed the FA Cup final that year? Dill's just pulled a face at us there.
I'm stuck between two, and I think I've gone with the wrong one, to be fair.
Question 7. Which stadium hosted both semi-finals?
Another stab in the dark.
Next question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which club lost in the semi-final, missing their chance to play in the last ever FA Cup final at the Old Wembley? This club also played in the very first FA Cup final at the Old Wembley, but missed the chance to play the last one. It would have been a little nice twist of fate, but they got beat in the semis.
Do.
In the semis?
Yeah.
Right.
Just put a team, man. I'm going to get it on anyway.
They lost on pens to one of the finalists.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah. Question 9. Which future Sunderland manager scored twice to beat Newcastle in the other semi-final?
I think I might have that.
I had to think about that one there.
Question 10.
Yeah.
Final question. Who scored the winner in the FA Cup final that year?
No, did you get the first?
I think I might have got this year completely wrong. 1990.
Yeah, I'm like
Oh, no. I think I've
convinced
got it.
myself it's one final and I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I think I've got it right.
Should we go through the answers?
Go on then.
Would you want to see
Question
what
1.
Aye.
Who? So, well, Dill, you go first.
What was
were
it
the
again?
lucky-
Aye.
What?
But Norwich.
Norwich. Who did you put, Nath?
I wrote Rushden and Diamonds.
It was Darlington. Yeah. Darlington.
That why they built a new stadium?
No. On the back of being the lucky losers.
Aye.
Got some third round money.
The rugby team plays in now.
Is it?
Yeah,
It's still called the Reynolds Arena.
couldn't tell you, mate.
In fact, I've mascotted a game there.
Have you? That's messy.
My dad was in net.
Oh my god.
Get him.
Question 2. Which club subbed a player that had been sent off before he could leave the field?
I wrote Wycombe Wanderers.
I put Southampton.
It's Tranmere Rovers.
Oh, I scribbled out Tranmere Rovers.
Did you?
Yeah,
John Aldridge.
John Aldridge's squad. Yeah,
Pulled a fast
Paul
one.
Rideout and that in.
Mm.
Gutted, man.
Oh, well, I've definitely got the next one wrong then.
What round did they get to?
I put semis.
I put quarterfinals, to be fair.
Quarterfinals, correct.
You I shouldn't have went so bold.
Made it to the quarters.
Can't believe I crossed out Tranmere Rovers and we're at Wycombe.
Well, you 1-0 up, which pretty much confirms the win. So.
Oh, I don't know, mate.
Question 4. Non-league side Ilkeston Town beat which team in the first round?
I just guessed and wrote Carlisle United.
I went because it's a random question and then it was shit then. I put Man City.
No, it was Carlisle.
Oh, fuck off. 2-0.
Question 5. Hereford took Leicester to extra time, but who scored the winner?
Paul Dickov.
Adi Akinbaye.
It was Muzzy, is it?
See, I wanted to write Muzzy, is it? But I thought that would be too obvious. No offence, Muzzy lad.
Muzzy, is it? Who refereed the final? Question 6.
I put Graham Paul, but I kind of thought it was Jeff Winter.
Couldn't even name a ref from then, so I just took a stab at it, something in history, and it was like a very young Howard Webb.
It was Graham Paul.
Yes!
I can't believe he got an FA Cup final, like,
He went to... Which tournament did he go? Did he go to the World Cup?
and gave a Croatian player 3
Yeah,
yellow cards.
2002 World Cup, yeah.
Fucking Maglin. I hate him, like.
Yeah, I'm not his biggest fan.
Oh. Sunderland versus Man U, February 2001. Graham Paul, wanker. Question 7. What stadium hosted the semi-finals?
Villa Park.
What did you say, Dill?
Villa Park.
Wembley.
Oh, Spewy.
Yeah, I was quite shocked myself. I didn't realise that semis were at Wembley at that point.
Yeah.
Which club played the first FA Cup final at Wembley but missed out on playing the last FA Cup final at Wembley by losing in the semis?
I put Liverpool.
I put Leeds United.
It's Bolton Wanderers.
Oh, Mingen.
They had a mad run. Only got beat up pens on Villa. Good Johnson scored a few goals on that FA Cup.
Oh, Dion Dublin scored the winning penalty.
And he did.
Oh.
And Good Johnson got his move to Chelsea at the end of that season. Which future Sunderland manager scored twice in the semis to beat Newcastle?
Oh, because
Yeah, it's Poyet.
1 out of 10. Boom.
And question 10, who scored the winner in the final?
Roberto Di Matteo.
I didn't know. I put Ray Parler. Just didn't know it was that year or not.
Yeah, it was Roberto Di Matteo. So, whitewash, but I think age comes out. I was maybe a bit harsh on you there, Jill.
I don't think so. Whitewash would say I got none. I got 1
Oh,
right.
yeah, of course. Oh, okay, I apologise. 2, 3, 4, 5, just the 5-1. There was a tiebreaker.
I didn't know who was the final. Was that Chelsea Borough?
Chelsea Villa.
Chelsea Villa.
Yeah.
Was that the fastest goal one? Well, it was the fastest.
No. Fastest goal was against Borough in 97.
Same goal scorer, mind.
Aye, same goal scorer.
The goal was pretty quick in that game as well, actually, to be fair.
I know, you don't have to patronise us.
Mate.
Well done, Nath, taking the quiz. I did have a tiebreaker, which was just how many English players were in the combined clubs 15s on the FA Cup final that year.
4.
Who was it again? Villa
Chelsea. Villa.
I'll go on 7, mostly Villa, because that when Chelsea had like barely any.
Yeah, they did, but it was actually 15 overall, and but Chelsea had 4 in their matchday squad. It was because they started Wise, who was captain.
Oh, of course.
3 of the bench was a young John Terry, John Harley, and Jody Morris. Yeah.
I hate Jody Morris.
Well, they could only have 5 subs, and they made 3 of them like youth players.
No,
I'm trying to think of that. So Villa will have been like James, Southgate.
This is your Villa. This.
Yeah.
Hi.
Lee Hendry, Paul Merson, Dion Dublin, Gareth Barry.
Yeah.
Alan Wright.
Alan Wright, yeah.
Right. That's 7, isn't it?
Steve Watson.
Oh, I can't mind if Steve Watson was in. I should have the list really.
Good effort, though.
Alan Thompson.
Southgate.
Southgate was in. So Eggy Og.
You got Eggy Og.
Oh, you
Ian
got
Taylor. Ian Taylor as well.
Ian Taylor.
David May.
Yeah, so. Matt Jansen.
Hey,
right.
leave my Villa squad out of it.
So on to the 11s, which we just thought we'd do a bit of fun. Obviously, we're not picking like best of the tournament and stuff, but watching the highlights back, it was just kind of like favourites. Not even around that time or anything. I ended up picking favourites just because, like we said before, seeing household names as the young'uns, but also from watching the tournament highlights, like a couple of players that I took a shine to anyway.
I fired mine out like bang straight away.
I didn't pick any of my new players.
I did.
I've got 4.
What formation have you got?
4-3-3.
What have you got there? 4-4-2.
4-2-3-1.
I've got 3-1-4-2.
You take a throwback.
Yeah.
Should we just go through them individually? Because we're just
Yeah.
through them all.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll go first. Dida in goal. Looked class in this tournament, and I've always said he was shite. But goalkeeper that's won the Champions League twice, he's shite. Left back, Gilberto of Vasco da Gama. Centre half, Odvan, of course, my Atletico Mineiro legend. Other centre back was Talal Al-Kakuri. It just had to be when I seen he played on the side for Raja Casablanca. Right back, the marauding fiend, Jeremy. A 3 midfield, Van Petter, Ricardinho, and Juninho. Pernambucano. Juninho Pernambucano. And my front 3, Romario, Edmundo, and Agustin Delgado.
He does do want to be liked.
I watched it and was like, oh, it's weird. It was going to be an Elka before that. And then I watched him play and I was like, he actually looks mint. You go with yours, Dill.
In net, my favourite keeper of all time, Iker Casillas. Unconventional back 3 of Ivan Huelguera for his time in goal. 2, Fernando Hierro, and got a pure soft spot for Dennis Irwin. And if Roy Keane takes Dennis Irwin in any team, then I'm taking Dennis Irwin in any team.
I
love it. I absolutely love that.
One holding midfielder in the gap, Marcos Senna. Pure love him, and it's just like pure surprise when I checked the squads and I seen him. I was like, yes. Then a 4-man midfield of Juninho, just because of special love for him, David Beckham. We wouldn't have the Prawn Sandwich podcast without Roy Keane. And my all-time favourite, Guti, who was in the Real Madrid squad.
Yeah, it was.
Don't know if he made an appearance, but he was in the squad. So
he made one.
Yeah.
He did.
And then up front, Raul, and for his time at Sunderland, fair enough, he didn't play up front, but Dwight York.
Nice.
Just on Dennis Irwin, when you mentioned him there, did you see on that video that we watched later on when they done the UNICEF thing with the kids, and they had like the musician there with like the metal barrels, and they were playing them as drums. Dwight York and Dennis Irwin, like fewer pasty Dennis Irwin in shorts and a t-shirt playing drums with all these Brazilian kids, and that was like, I did not expect to see that today.
Dennis Irwin's a legend, man.
Quality, like
Dida made my bench. I'll say that.
Fairs.
I didn't know.
Nice.
Go on, Nath.
Mine was like a proper like once I'd watched it and all, and like just seen the players' names rolling through, I was like, oh, some decent players in there. So, anyways, starting at Dida, obviously in goals. Back four, so right back I've got Jeremy as well, because why not? Centre back, one of the two Man United players that I thought could come away from the tournament being a bit like, yeah, I did all right there. Yapstam, I generally thought that Yapstam did all right. My other centre back is South Melbourne's centre back Con Blatsis, because I don't know why, but I just remember watching that Man United game against South Melbourne, thinking he's all right, him. And then that exact season, Derby County signed him, and he played 2 games for Derby County, and that was me sold as a Con Blatsis fan. Like, Con Blatsis is mint.
That's amazing.
He was
That's
unreal.
I love that shout. I was trying to find a link to the Premier League through each squad, and I didn't even bother with South Melbourne. It shows my ignorance that I was like, oh, there won't have been anyone in there. So I'm loving that shout there.
I just remember him playing for Derby County. Only 2 games, man, but I was like, Con Blatsis is mint. Signed him.
Can't believe it didn't make Matt's 11 that other week.
I know, shame on you, Matt. Left back is obviously going to be Roberto Carlos. My 2 holding midfielders, Corinthians Van Petter, and from the Man United game against Necaxa, the captain, Alex Aguinaga, the ponytail, unreal. He just ran that game that day. My 3, left of the 3 is Quinton Fortune. Obviously, can't not put Quinton Fortune in there.
Nice.
Middle of the 3, Edilson. And on the right of the 3, Nicholas Anelka. And up front, Romario.
Lovely stuff.
Fair enough.
Adilson won a player of the tournament,
Yeah, he did.
but didn't make the All-Star team.
Oh, yes, they did an all-star team. Love it.
Yeah.
Sepp
So-
Blatter, so like...
Well, FIFA's All-Star team was Dida in goal, Sergio Alamaguer, defense from Necaxa, Fernando Hierro, Mikel Salgado, Real Madrid, obviously, and Yapstam, Man United. The midfielders was Felipe from Vasco da Gama, Roy Keane, Man United, Freddie Rincon, Corinthians, and Savio, Real Madrid. And the forwards were Agustin Delgado, Necaxa, and Romario, Vasco da Gama.
Nice.
And they did subs as well. Probably to appease Adilson after winning the tournament. And player of the tournament, not making the first 11 of the team of the tournament. Man. Did you see on the video when they were handing out the medals, it was like Sepp Blatter. Like, he was the one doing the handing out.
Oh.
You were milking it.
Oh, yeah.
Con Blatsis paid for 3 English teams. It's a fair play to the kid.
Coventry City one of them as well?
No.
No.
Right letter. He had a loan at Sheffield Wednesday from Derby. And he also played for Colchester United.
Get in. Con Blatsis, man. Hero.
Well, they're like, South Melbourne is still going. But
Yeah.
they're not in the A-League and that. They're playing like a regional division.
Yeah.
They're just from a really small area of Melbourne that's really like Greek orientated. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
they're still on the go, playing like, I think it's called like the National League or something like that.
Get in.
But that's the 2000 Club World Cup episode wrapped up. I know I've said it a few times. I really enjoyed like going through that because it wasn't long to look at, and it was all new information pretty much.
And it's something that like people can like if they like people listen back to this and then like do like a Google search and be like, oh Jesus, I remember that. If you're a Man United fan, then let us know about your thoughts of that kind of period of time. Sacking off the FA Cup.
Has your opinion changed about it now we've revealed that it was pressure from the FA and the government themselves for the inevitable doomed 2006 World Cup bid?
I think age took its toll on me.
It's been a while since our last tournament episode, but I think it'll be. It's back round to you, Dill, is it?
Yeah.
Is it not Nath?
Was the
I
last
didn't-
tournament we did not the 98 World Cup?
I did 98 World Cup.
I know I did 2008 Euros, didn't I? So have I.
We'll have a look. I'll have a look and see. I'm pretty sure it's Dylan's turn though.
We'll have to check the archives.
Oh my god! Yo, whose player profile? It's Jay's player profile, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's my player profile next.
Whenever we
Still
do that.
Decided on that.
So we haven't done. This is our first. Yeah. So this is our first one of season 3.
Yeah.
It's all right. We can sort this out later. But anyway, as I said at the start of the episode, thanks to all the guests that have been on recently. We're always open to guests coming on, so if you're interested, drop us a message on Twitter at Prawn Podcast and Instagram Prawn_Sandwich. DMs are open. Slide right in, and you can come and talk about the team you support, any football subject you want. Could be championship manager, football manager, anything.
Absolutely
always
anything.
welcome. Until next time.
Breaking news. It was Nath, and it's me next time, and it's Viva Italia 2006 World Cup. Boom.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for that. We don't know what it'll be, but that's what it'll be.
I can't wait to play World at Your Feet by Embrace for that. What are we playing out this one then? What should we
Samba
do?
de Janeiro.
Yes. Get in. It had to be. I was hoping you said that. Love it.
Right, I don't know goodbye in Portuguese, so goodbye in English.
I'll just say arrivederci. Why not?
Ciao, Bella.
Samba.